Have discussed about block, dynamic block and block editor. Today I'm going to discuss about attribute, block attribute, and with the help of block and attribute, how you can create like title block and also about external reference. So external files, you can take it as a reference file and you can also bind it within your project file and you can combine all the other parts of your project files and you can combine it as a single sheet or single project file so that we can do it. And let's start then. So we already know about how to create block and dynamic block. So now let's look into attribute. Here we have one function that is called attribute. And when we will use this attribute function, when we need to store all the variable informations. Okay, all the informations we need to store, and those information may vary according to your projects. So for that we have attributes. So let me go for it. ATT is the command, and here you can see on screen attribute definition, and we have three options: tag, prompt, and default to put our values. So when this is as a normal attribute, it will be displayed the tag value. And when you store it as a block attribute, it will be shown the default value. And the default value is only variable. So let me show you that. So suppose the tag value. So uh, like you can go with project name. Okay, and here one important thing that space is not allowed. So you can go with underscore or dash, like you can put it. And about the prompt, so you have to put the values which will be the definition for your default value. So it will be displayed when you will convert it as a block attribute. So let's go for it. And here you can put like project name mentioned in the contract. Okay, so this is going to be the definition. Here you can give it a name like suppose let me go for it. Okay, so the text height, you can give the text height and the rotation. So let's go with this default text height. Let's click on OK, and here let's place it. And here you can see that this is the attribute right now. If I convert it as block, select object, select this object, press enter. Give it a name. Let's pick a point. This is going to be the pick point. And about the block unit, here you can change it as millimeter or inches or the right unit. And now I don't want to open in the block editor, and let me click on OK. And when I'm storing it, here you can see one window is popped up, and that is the edit attributes window. And here you can see that this one is only editable. That is the default value. And at the left side of this default value, the prompt value is shown as a definition of this default value. So accordingly, you have to type in the prompt, right? So here you can change it. Let me go with anything. Click on OK, and here you can see. All right. So with the help of this attribute, what you can do, you can create your title block, and the format is same, but the values will be different as per your project. Okay, so you don't need to create your title block all the time. And when you are working for a particular project or for any particular uh, site or particular company or particular client, so you will be using that same template format, sorry, same title block format, but it will be the informations will be varied for different projects. So you don't have to make your title block all the all the time, which will consist the same kind of information, but informations will only vary. So for that, you can choose this title block, sorry, this attribute and convert it into block. So with the help of creating a title block, let me show you also. So here I'm going to create one, and before that, let me just set one unit, set my unit properly. So dash twg unit, enter, and 3 is going to be the unit millimeter. 2 will be my display format, and how much precision I need, 2, and this is going to be yes. Scale objects from other drawing upon insert, yes, and match insertion unit to drawing units, yes, yes, and yes. So that is done right now. And now let's create one, and we have our A0 size. So let me create one A0 size paper. So for that, this is the first corner point, and the second corner point will be at the rate 1189, comma 841, enter. So that is the A0 paper size in millimeter. Okay. So for A0 paper size, I have the format for the title block, and the size is going to be 150 by 50 mm. So let's go for it. Let me choose at the rate minus 150, comma 50, enter. And here I have created one. Okay, so this is going to be the title block. So let me create some more object. So here what I'll do, I will explode it so that I get these individual lines as a single object. And now let's go for divide option. Here I have some divide option. Let me select this object, and I will divide it into 3 segment, enter, and it is divided. So I can't see the points. So what I will do, I will come to this utilities option, and here I need to change the point style. You can see the point style is right now as a dot. So it's really hard to see the dot. So let me change it. And here you can see. And also for this side, so let's go for div is the command. Let me select this. And after that, number of segments is 5. And here it is. Now I'll select it. I'll go for copy, specify this as a base point. And before applying your second point, go for array, and number of items will be 5, including the main object, enter. And this is the second point, and you have copied all the 4 objects together. Now let me select this horizontal line. CP is the command, or CO is the command for copy, and this as a base point. And after that, go for array and then specify the number of items, that is 3. And these are going to be the okay. Now, if you need to delete all these points, so what you can do, right click, quick select, and you can go for this point and you can click on OK, and these points are easily selected. And then delete it. Now let's go for trim, enter. OK, so here you can go for this part and this thing as it is. OK. So here you can put the project or the client name. Here you can put the project name. Here you can put the project address. You can put date. You can put the designer name or any information as per the format. And here you can put the company logo or the designer logo. And here you can put the scale value, the page size, and here you can put the units are in millimeter, and here you can put the north side. Okay, north direction. So this let me put all the things which are variable. Okay, so here we're going to define the project name. Okay, so let's go for ATT, enter. And here let me go with the project name. Okay, and about the text side, so we can check it. Okay, so here you can go for this text side here. Okay, with this you can check it from this to this, how much is the height. Okay, that you can check. Or here you can go for this point to point, and you can go for like this to this, can go like this, and this is going to be the height. So let me define 8 as a height. Okay, and this is going to be the project name. And about this one, uh, about the prompt, you can define it like the same. And project name. Okay, suppose now one thing, let me tell you that if you don't provide anything in the prompt, suppose we forgot about mentioning in the prompt, so what will happen? It will take the tag value by default for the prompt value. Okay, now let me go with the default. So like this. Okay, or let me go with this. Suppose there is a stadium is going to be happen. Okay, all right, and let's click on OK, and this is going to be the, so this is this height is really big for this space, right? So what we can do, we can change the text height. So double click on it, and here you can see this is right now the edit attribute definition, and this is right now the tag value. So when this is as a attribute, you can change the tag value, but when you convert it into block as a block attribute, you cannot change the tag value. Only default value can be changeable. So we can change it after creating our uh, block. So let me go with that here again ATT. So I can go with I can go with 5, and here you can go with like project. Okay, and here you can put any value. Click on OK. Here you place it. Okay, so let me place it here. And here you can place all the things also. So now let me do one thing. Let me go with the block. So this way you can place all your informations and you can fill up your title block. So all the informations which are variable go with the attribute. Okay. So let's go for select objects. Let's select this much of the object and then press enter and then give it a name like title, pick point. This is going to be the pick point for your block. And the block unit is millimeter, and let's click on OK. And you can see this is the edit attribute window, and you can change all the default values. OK, and this, click on OK. And here you can see this is available here. So you can double click on this and there you can see this is the value. So this is enhanced attribute editor window. And you can go for this text option there and you can see this is the height right now. You can change the height to 5 and you click on apply and OK. So this way you can create your title block with the help of block attribute. So this is your title block. You can see this is your title block. And with the default values, it is placed, it is created. You can change it after that. So whatever you need to change, double click to open enhance attribute editor or EATT edit. You can type also and then select the block. And this one is opened and you can choose which attribute for which attribute you need to change the value. So select that attribute and you can change the default value. OK. So let me select this one and let's go for the text and what will be the text that is 5 and apply and OK. All right. So this way we will create our title block with the help of block attribute. Fine. Now, what I need any external drawing within this. So I can choose external reference. Suppose I'm handling the document part and someone is handling only for the drafting or modeling. So suppose the person has already created. Okay, and here I need to combine this title block, this page layout or the page border, and within that I need to place that drawing and I need to convert it as a single drawing file. So for that I have this external reference, which will help me to take any external drawing as a reference, or within this I can combine any external file. So let's go for it. Here you can see this is the external reference window, and here you can attach any DWG file. You can attach image file as well, or PDF or point cloud. OK, and if you have any coordination model so that you cannot attach here as well. So let's go for attach DWG file and let me choose. OK, suppose this one. And here you can put specify insertion point where it will be inserted. So you can specify in the screen. You can go for the scale. If you already know the scale factor, then here you can uncheck the specify on screen option and here you can check it. So as because this is right now uniform scale, so you can only apply for only one axis and the other two axes will be the similar as because this is uniform scale. So if it is non-uniform, then you uncheck and you can change for each axis scale factor. So now I will go with one. So let's go with one and later we will decide how much value we need to change. OK, and here you can see this is the block unit. So for this drawing, it was saved in inches. So that is why this is the block unit, that is the insertion unit. And here we will specify one insertion point. So let's specify here as the insertion point, and then you can specify the so let me choose here, you can see. So this one is available here. Okay. All right, so we need to drag this. With this, we will drag it. So let me drag this. Okay, we need to scale it up. And about the scaling, so we will select this. And what I can do, I can right click, and here I have this scale option, and I can put the base point. What will be the base point? So let's choose this as a base point, and let's specify 1:2 or 0.5. The value is similar as the scale factor. I think it is going to be 1:8, I think. So let's apply the scale factor 1:8, or let's apply 1:16. So 1/16 will be the scale factor, and that is scaled down. Let me move this. Let me move with this icon. This is still too big. So I have already applied 1/16. So if I go for like 0.25, so I think 1/64 will be the scale factor. The whole scale factor will be 1:64. So go for it. And this is the base point. And now let me go for 0.25, enter, and that is there. Okay. Or else if it is 0.5, like 1:32, total scale factor, can choose. Okay, right. So right now you can see this is quite dim in color, right? So you can go for right click and options, and within this display here you can see this is the fade control for your external reference display. You can change this, how much fade will be there. Okay, let me go and show you. And now you see the color is not in fade. Okay, so that you can understand. But don't get confused that this is not yet part of your project. This is still as an external reference. So we have that external reference window, and there you can control the visibility. You have this unload option. So it is right now, you can say this is right now hidden within your AutoCAD, and you can again go for reload and it will be reloaded. And if you need to detach or delete, so you can go for detach. Right now, if you need to bind, so that it will be the part of your AutoCAD drawing file, and you can access them as one single line, and all individual objects you can access it. So for that, you need to go for this bind option. Okay, so before the bind option, let me go for this option here, and here let me change it to, it was initially, and you can take it as a external reference as well. So suppose you have all your layers created. So you can see it's also adopt the layers which is present within this file. So everything will be adopted. So you can choose, let me go with this one. And this one cannot be current layer. So this is external reference yet. You can see this is still as external reference layer. So until it is the part of your project, you cannot use it. So let's go with that zero layer. And what I'll do, I'll choose this rectangle, and you can see I can get easily all the snap points as per the project. So that will be easier for me to take this drawing as a reference. Okay, and I can easily create all these objects. If I need to take it as a like separate, if I need to create any separate file with the help of this drawing, so I can trace this drawing as external reference. And let me go for this polyline here. Let me show you. So this point and this point. So you are getting all these points. Okay. And after that, you can like delete it, unload. And here you can see this line I have created here. Let me reload it. And there you can see. So let me just delete it. Now I don't need to take it as a reference and trace. I'm not using this reference drawing as a tracing. So I need to combine it. So here we have this bind option available. And we have this two type of bind. So no matter whatever what option you choose, it will bind, it will make it as part of your project. So if you choose bind, it the block name will be different. Okay, and if you choose insert, so insert will give you the drawing file name as a block name. So that will be easier for you to understand which one is the right block. If you're going with this insert, so it will help you. Click on OK. And now you can see that this is the block. Okay, and here within this insert you have this block. So you can see this has the name, and all the other blocks which is present within this drawing, which is present within this drawing. You are having all this. Okay, you are having all of this. So now what you need to do, you need to select it and then explode it so that you can access all the individual part, all the individual objects, all your blocks there. Okay, so that you can access it here. And this is right now part of your project, and you can save it uh, as a project file. Okay, and also you can access all the layers. Okay, and everything you can access it. Not only that, there these dimension style which is created within that, you can access it. So all the things which are available within this drawing, which you are taking as a external file and you are binding within your current file, not only the lines and arcs, not only the drawing objects, you can have all the properties also, like all the settings also can have it. And if you decide to use those, you can make those settings active and you can use it in your current project. All right. Now, after placing all your drawings, after your drawing and drafting is completed, what we will do, we will place dimensions, right? So I hope I haven't uh, covered this text dimension, this table multi-leader. This part I haven't covered, right? Did I already cover the text dimension part? No, right?
No, sir. No, no, sir.
Okay. Yes. So first of all, what do we need to do? We will go with this text. Okay, so whatever texts are there, we will place all our text first, and then we will place our dimensions. Okay, so all the informations we will put through our annotation tools. So any description you need, so for that we have this text, any dimensional information you need to provide, for that we have this dimension, and some extra informations you need to provide, or by directing any particular object. So for that we have this leader or multi-leader option. And if you need to create any schedule or notes within this sheet, so that you can create like this, you can create some table over there with the help of table. So let me create one table first. Uh, Before showing you the text, let me create the table first. Okay, so you can choose the standard style of table, which is already there. If you launch the table style, you can create your style, and as per that you can modify it. So let me go with the modify option. And here you can see that the sales styles data, you can choose header, and then as per that you can change the properties for the header cells, and for data sales you can change the properties, for title sales you can change the properties. So what are the properties you need to go with, you can define it. So first let me go with the title, and for the title these are the margins, horizontal, vertical. So I think for horizontal, this is too much. Let me go with 0. And for verticals also, the margin is this much is fine. Okay, and the fill color, that will be non-alignment at middle center, that is fine. And about this label, so you can label this type as data. Okay, and here about the text information. So what is the text side? That is 6.35. We can change it. Okay, so for the title, I will go with 8. Okay, and that you can see the changes reflected in the preview. And the table direction is downside. So first your title will come, then header, then data. So this is the down direction. And now let me choose. So about the borders, you can define anything you need to define. So by layer, let's go with by layer. You can choose any particular style. You can define layer. As per the layer properties, you will have all the things. So you can create any particular layer for creating any tables. So let's go with the header. And you can go with the new cell styles also if you need to create any new cell. Okay, so that you can create. And right now I don't know, need to create any cell styles. So let's go with uh, this one. So for this header, that is going to be 5. And for data also, the text height is going to be 5. Text color will be bilayer. For the borders, let's go with the bilayer option. Okay, and the alignment, let me go with middle center. Okay, so that is defined here. And about the margins, so you can define it. So I'm not changing anything. So let's so this is right now the table style, and let me close it, or else before closing it you can select and set current if you have other table styles as well. So select that which you want to use it, and then click on set current and then close. So this is the style we are using right now. Okay. And the first row cell is title. Okay. And the second row cell is header. So you can make it data. So there will be no changes. You can choose data as well. And how many columns you need. Okay. And how many data rows you need, so that you can define. All right. So what I'll do, I will go with this specify window, and as per my area, this thing will be constant and the other things will be adapted as per the window area. So what you need to define is the column numbers. So column you can define as 1. Okay. And rows, I need 3 rows. Okay. So let's click on OK, and this column with this row height will be adapted as per the window area. So let me define it. So this, let me just go with this to this. So from this point to this point. Okay, so this is your uh, table created, and this is the first. There you can create like notes. Okay, and that is available here. And you can see this is another, this is another, and this is another. Okay. And if I go for control and or else this way I can select these two, or this way I can select these three together, and then I can go for merge sales. You can go for this merge by column option, and we have tables like this. And why I have created for this schedule, why I have created a table. So this will give you benefit that if you create with table, then right click, and here you have the export option, and you can export it as .csv file as your Excel comma delimited file. So that is the option, you can extract it as a Excel file. Okay, only if you create with the help of table option. Okay, so all the informations can be extracted as a Excel file. Now we can put some text values over there. So for that we have this multi-line text, single line text available here. Okay. So let me show you about the single line text. So single line text is for each single line, it will be a single object. For each line, the text will be as a single object. And here you may not have that much option for modifying your text. So let me show you. Like here, this is going to be the height. You're specifying the height, and then about the rotational angle. So there will be no rotational angle. So rotational angle 0, enter. And now let's type some text value. Let's go with date. And then again, if you need to create another line, so press enter, and then there you can type anything. Okay, and then enter, and then here you need to make it blank. So then press enter. And there you can see this is the line which is as an individual object. And this is one line which is as a individual object, right? Okay. So if you double click on it, you can only change the values. You can only change the values. Now, what you can do, you can come to style option, that is for your text style, and there you can specify uh, this is the standard, and we have some already created text styles are there. So let's go with this standard, and here you can see this is the font name, and we can change the font name. Let me choose this one, and this is the font style you can see, and you can make it annotative. So for controlling annotative objects, length and height, or all the properties, all the dimensional properties, we have annotation scales. So annotative objects can be controlled by this annotative scales. So if you want to make it annotative, you can make it annotative. So you will find out this option available here, this icon. So that is the meaning of this symbol, is the meaning of annotative. Now let me specify this as height. So 3 will be the height, and then width factor is 1. So nothing to change for the width factor, and then oblique angle. So let me just show you what is the effect of oblique angle. So there, let me give a bigger value, 50. So there you can see this is your oblique angle. It it gives you the italic effect, right? So let me give 0, and about the width factors, so if you, so that is not applicable. Uh, Now it will be applicable. So about the width factor, so if you go for 0, so it cannot be 0. Let me change about the width factor. So here you can see it is stretched. So let's go with the width factor. So you can provide 0.001. This much. Okay, so this is about width factor. So let's go for apply, close, and there you can see it is applied for all these text values. Okay, so that is applied here. And now let me delete it. Now if I go for single line text and then you specify this as a start point, then you see right now I can't specify the rotational angle because of the style has already the height given, right? So as per the height given, it is automatically taken. Now about the rotational angle, then about the text value. So let's go with date, and then enter and enter. So for single line text, if you need to change the height, so either you can scale it or you can recreate it. Now about the multi-line text. So if you go for multi-line text, you can understand by the name that even if you create multiple lines, it will be taken as a single objects. All the multiple lines of your text will be taken as a single object. Let me show you how to create it. So first you specify first corner and then second corner to create the text area. And then you have to define. So here you can see that this style is right now the default style. And as per that, we have this default text height. You can change it here also. So here you have much freedom to modify as per your requirement. So let's go with this. Now you can type enter just for showing. I'm going to now you want to escape, press escape and then yes, enter. And there you can see this one is right now as a multi-line text as a single object. All these multiple lines as a single object. Okay. And you can change your column width if it is needed. So if you change, let me show you that if I go with like this, it will be displayed like this. Okay. Like this way, it can be displayed, but they are in single line. Okay. So that you can apply. Right now, let me delete them, close this text editor. Before the closing it, you can change the justification. It is right now top left. You can make it middle center. The alignment, you can change it. Okay, and bullet numbering, this line spacings. What do you do in the Word that those options available here as well? Okay, all the things here you can change it. All right, so let's go for close and you can also put some uh, this symbols you can put here. So let's close it and let's place it here. Okay. Now, one more thing that is this one is your single line text. You can convert it as multi-line text if you need in future as a multi-line, you need to modify this. So you can convert it as multi-line text. So for that, come to this Express tool, and you have this convert to M text. You have this option, select it and then press enter. That is a simple. And now double click on it. And here you can see you have all this modification option within this text editor. It is right now as multi-line text. You can select and you can see this is as M text. So this how you can like put your text values, you modify all the text values. Okay. And here you can also select this table. Within this table, you can type all the informations what you need. So how you can edit the table? If you single click, then this table cells will be selected. So if this table cell is selected and you can go for control 1 and for this cell, this is the cell and you can check this is the cell width, this is the cell height. You can check, okay, what is the area right now? You can check and here you can change the cell height to see the cell height is changed. Okay, so for this also you can change the cell height, right? And here double click on it to change the text value. So let me go with the okay, And about the dimensions, so we can put all the dimensions. So the dimension style is already selected. You can check under this annotation drop down arrow. Click on this annotation drop down arrow. And here you have this text style and dimension style. Right now, this standard is selected. As per that, we have some settings. And currently, we are using this standard dimension style. So for linear dimension, we have this linear option. So this will only calculate the dimension value and place dimension value in X and Y direction. Okay, so select this point to this point and you can specify this dimension. And suppose you are going with this point to another point in angular direction. So as I have already mentioned that it only calculates in X, Y, and Z direction, the linear, in the linear direction only. So for that point, so this point to this point, it has in the X direction or in the Y direction also in the linear, it will only calculate the value in the linear direction only. And this is your extension line. This is your extension line. And you see that this is the point for your extension line and this is the point for another extension line. So that was created and you can drag and place it again. You can change the placement, and for this text placement you have this midpoint, you can drag it here and accordingly it is placed. And for aligned dimension, you have this aligned dimension. Okay, suppose this length you want to check, so that is the length you can check. Okay, now about the angle, you can check angles. So no angular object is there, so let's go with this object. Select this line and then another line, and between that it will show you the angle and you can place it. Okay, so this is a very simple to place angular. We have arc length if you need any arc length, so that you can check also. So for this you can check the arc. Okay, uh, let me just join this to J enter join. Let me select this first and then select it and let's press enter. And you see that color is also changed as because I had selected this as a first point. So it's adopted as a first object which I selected, and it adopted the first object's properties. Now let me go with this arc length and I will select this arc and this is the length for this arc. Okay, so I have placed it. Now about the radius, you can check the radius. So this one you can check here. What is the radius? About the diameter, here you can check about the diameter. Now we have some options like ordinate and jogged. So ordinate is to show your distance from origin. So any point distance, if you need to calculate from the origin, like datum, so you can choose this one. Okay, so let's go for it, ordinate. And if I go for this point, suppose let me select this point, and if I place in the y direction, then it will show you the x coordinate value or the x distance or the distance in x direction. And if I placing in the y direction, sorry, x direction, then it will show you uh, that point's distance in the y-axis. Okay, from origin. So let me place it here, and again ordinate, select this point, and then in this direction. Okay, and we have also ID to check the coordinate values. So let me select this point, and here you can see the x value is 14.88 and y value is 1.25. And as per that, we're having the ordinate dimensions. Okay, so let me delete, and we have this jogged option available, this jog. So this jog option we will use when we don't define the center, or we can't locate the center point. Okay, so the circle is located off centered. So then we will choose jogged. Okay, suppose for this, so this one is block, so we cannot use it. So let me go with this curve. So here we will not specify the center. Let me go with this. So let's specify this point. Let me escape, go for this jogged. I'll select this arc, and then let me select the center location. This as the center location, and then specify the dimension location where your dimension will be placed. Okay, so let me place it here, and then about the jog location. So where a jog location. So let me show you again. Select this one and select this arc first, and then about the center location, and then where your dimension will be placed, the dimension location, and about the jog location. So let me place it. So this way your jogged radius is placed. Now, one more thing, that is, suppose you need to calculate dimension from this point, all the dimensions you need to calculate from this point. So for that, what you can do, you can place your dim linear, that is the linear dimension. The command is dim lin, and then let me place the dimension for this point to this point, and that is placed here right now. And what you can do, you can choose dimension base, so that it will be calculated from this point. So it will be taken as base point, and then from this point, all the dimensions will be calculated. So let's go with the dimension base. Dim base is the command, and then select this line, or the last object. First point will be selected as the base point. If you need to go with another dimension, so here you have this select option, and select from that end, or select from that extension line, click on it, and here you can see from this it is being calculated, and till this point you can choose. And again, you can see that from this base point, another point's value is being calculated. You can choose this, and again from the base point only it will be calculated. And after that, you can press escape, and here you can see all these dimensional values calculated from this base point only. So these are your dimensions. Right now I don't need it, and calculate. And you need to place all the dimension points, like from this point to this point, and again this point to this point. So you cannot go with this dimension linear. So like this, you have to specify all the points, and then it is placed your dimension command is deactivated. Again you have to take the dimension command, again you specify 2 points. So this way it will take lots of time. Let me show you again. You go for the dimension linear command, then you specify this point uh, to this point or to this point, and then you again place it like this. Again it will be deactivated, again you go for it. So we won't create like that. So what we'll do, after creating one dimension, I will go for dimension continue. So dim cont is the command, and then select this dimension from that extension. So that will be the last point, and from that last point, you just need to define the point, and that point will be taken as the last point, and you see it continues. It continues like this. So you just have to specify another point only, and it will continue creating your dimension. Okay, so this way we will place our dimension, and we have dimension styles. So there we can change and define our all the properties for the dimensions. So D is the command for dimension style. Okay, D is the command for dimension style, enter. And we are going with this dimension style. If you want to create anything, you can go for this new, and there you can define. So now I'm going to modify, and the same option if you will find when you are creating a new one. So let me show you with the modify. And this is the first tab, that is line. And for your dimension line, what will be the color? Here you can define. This is the color for your dimension line. You can go with the bilayer. If you have created one dimension layer, so as per that, you will have your dimension if you choose this bilayer properties. Okay, and here you see you have this extend line, extend beyond ticks. So your dimension line may extend. You can suppress your dimension lines. And about the baseline spacing. So from the baseline, how much space it will have. So let me go with like 25, enter. And let me show you 50. So how much spacing it will be for the dimension line from this base. So it is the value. Let me go for 5. Okay, so here it is not reflected, but you will see from the baseline how much spacing how much spacing will be there, so that you are going to define. So let's go with the 10. And about the extension lines, so these are the extension line. Let me highlight in red color. These are the extension line, and you can choose the line type for extension line 1. This is the extension line 1. This is the extension line 2. For each extension line, you can choose line type, and line width will be applied for both the extension lines, and extend beyond dimension line. So beyond this dimension line, how much it will extend. So you can go with 0, so it will not extend. Here you can see. Okay, and offset from origin. So you see some gaps are there from the origin. So let me show you with the more value, and there you can see some more gaps are there, and it will create you a better aesthetic look. So like your dimension line or the object color may be kind of similar, or it may create clumsy look if you don't give this much of space, or a right space if you don't give. So it may create clumsy look for your drawing. So for that, must specify offset from origin and choose the right value for this offset. Now let me show you about symbol and arrows. And here you can choose what will be the first arrow type. You can choose this architectural tick, this one. Okay. And the second one will be adapted as per the first one. You cannot like at the default condition, you see that the second one was adopted, and later on you can change it. Okay. So let's go with the architectural tick. Right now, if you change the first one, let me show you the close fill, and you see the second one is automatically updated. So as because in the default condition we make those two arrow similar, we generally don't make it different. So that's why. And for the leader, we will be applying this arrow type and what is the arrow size that is available here. And if you are applying any radius dimension, so it will create one center mark that is available here. And a dimension break size, so this dimension is breaking right now, you can see. And what will be the break size, so that you are going to define. Okay, so about the arc length symbol, where it will be placed, so preceding dimension takes dimension se pehle ye place hoga. Then about the jog angle, so for this is only applied for the jog dimension. This is your angle. We have this a linear jog dimension, so for the jog height. Okay. About the text, we have the same kind of settings: text styles, text color, fill color. About the text height. Okay, about the text placement, so the text alignment, always go with this ISO standard. Okay. And you can make it fixed always. It will be always horizontal, whether it your uh, dimension is vertical or aligned, it will always be horizontal. And you can choose aligned with dimension line, so as per your dimension line it will be aligned, that you can choose also. So here you can go with. And text placement, offset from the dimension line, it has some offset from the dimension line. Let me go with the 0, and there you can see no offset from the dimension line. And when it is vertical, it will be centered. Horizontal, it is centered. You can change it to at extension line 1. So you can see at extension line 1 it is placed. When it is horizontal, you can make it centered, whatever is your requirement. You have the fit option. So fit option is when it is applied. Suppose you all these things you see, like you have the arrow size 4.5 millimeter, this baseline spacing is 10 millimeter. So if you are creating any dimension for any smaller size in compared to these dimensions what you have provided for your dimension dimensional components, for this arrow size is 4.5, but you are placing the dimension within 4 millimeter or within 2 millimeter you are placing. So what will be the best fit, right? So here it is applied. You can choose arrow, you can choose text. So text will be the best fit. Okay, so you can apply these things about the text placement when the text is not in the default position. So you want to place it beside the dimension line or over the dimension line, with leader, over the dimension line without leader, so that you can apply. So what is the requirement? Choose it. And here we also have another option, that is overall scale. So that will be applied for all the components like line, symbol and arrows, text. So you can see that right now the text value is the text height is 3, and the symbol and arrows, that is 4.5. So if you apply any scale factor, suppose 2 or 2.5. So suppose you are applying 2. So what will be the actual arrow size? That will be 9, right? That you can apply any overall scale. And about the primary units, so that is the format, display format, decimal. About the precision, so this much precision is shown. Decimal separator, dot, comma, space, what you need. And the prefix, if you want to show anything in the suffix, you want to show anything like this so it will be shown here. And about the measurement scale factor, that you can provide also. Suppose you want to show the original length of your drawing. Okay, so that you can show it here with this scale factor. It will be applied and it will be shown only with that scale factor. So like I have applied 1:32 scale factor. So here I can give 1:32 scale factor. And as for the original length of the line, it will be displayed. Okay, so generally what we display, the original length, what we are going to construct in the site, that we display. But if I want to show the uh, drawing length, then I can apply this scale factor here for the measurement scale. Okay. Uh, about the angular dimensions, so this is the format. So everything is okay, and alternate units within your decimal unit. With your decimal unit, if you want to show feet and inches, so you can go with alternate unit. And there you can choose engineering or architectural. So let's go with the engineering, and there you can see with your you are displaying another unit. So you are basically converting your units. Okay, so that is how we create our dimension style and we apply it. Okay, so that is all about your dimension. So we are left with this leader, multi-leader option. So that I will cover in the next class. So that is all for today. Thank you all. Thank you.